Well, welcome everybody and happy to have you here. I am JBO and your host of Ignite Humanity Live. And here we are today on another amazing edition of ways that you can ignite humanity. We're coming to you every Monday to Friday to talk about how we each can ignite humanity in our own unique ways. We all have uniqueness in us. And so therefore, how we ignite humanity is also unique and individual to us. And what this show is all about is inspiring you to feel connected and willing and able and wanting to make a difference on humanity. In fact, we each have an obligation and a responsibility to step into our uniqueness and ignite others. And how do we do that? Well, first by igniting ourselves. When we uplift ourselves and awaken ourselves to new understandings, we truly have the ability to awaken and inspire others. And I believe that it's a chain reaction. There's going to be this ripple effect that when you ignite your life, you truly ignite the lives of others. And our guests on the show and all of our episodes talk about ways that their lives have been touched. And we call them Ignite moments, those powerful moments that awaken us. And those moments incite us to do something different. And we want this show to be an Ignite moment in your life for you to do something different. But we also want you to hear from our guests. And they're going to tell you different things that have allowed them to inspire others. And I want to talk a little bit about today's theme, which is awaken. I'd love for you to be awakened to the idea that we don't always know what's going on with others. We don't always understand what's happening in the lives of individuals, and we don't really truly live in anyone else's skin or walk in their shoes. And so it's important for us to be conscientious and aware of what's happening in the people around us and around the globe. And this show is really designed to help us think outside the box, take off the blinders and look differently at the people around us and be more conscientious and aware of how people are feeling. It's important that we, each and every one of us, actually feel seen and heard and as we belong. And this show is designed for you to feel that your story and your the things you're going through in life, they're noticed, they're recognized, and they have value. They're important. And so it's important for me to share with you that today I want you to feel like you matter, you're important, you have value, and your uniqueness is exactly what the world wants to see. How special you are is what people are looking for. And that's what makes you you. And that's what makes me me. And I thank you each and every day for showing up to see a little bit of JB and a little bit about the way we ignite humanity with our powerful guests. Well, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, we just want to share that it's possible because we want to hear your stories. So reach out to us and share at ignitehumanity.life/share and tell us what you're doing so we can showcase your story. We want to hear your Ignite moment. We want to know what happened to you that allowed you to move forward in your life and now do something that's helping someone else. Truly, one of the greatest gifts we have is to help others and in our own evolution and how we rise up in our own experience of being human beings. We have the gift to help others. And as each and every one of us does that, well, guess what, people? We will ignite humanity. All right, well, let's get right into it. I have an amazing guest today I'd like to share with you. Mr. Sam Eaton is an author, speaker, and founder of the Recklessly Alive, a suicide prevention organization sprinting towards a world with 0 deaths by suicide. Can you imagine how phenomenal that would be? Sam has spoken at over 150 events throughout the US, and his first book, Recklessly Alive, reached the top 200 best-selling books on Amazon in June of 2022. Congratulations, Sam. We are looking forward to speaking with you. Come on in and welcome to the show. So happy to have you here. Yay, welcome.
Let's ignite.
Let's ignite. Great. Thank you for saying that. And I'm delighted to have you here because the truth is, this is a conversation that really needs to be had. This is something that we need to be talking about. But let's start off with your book first. Recklessly Alive, congratulations on the success. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to write this book.
Truthfully, I started it just as a gift to myself. Like, I was in Africa, I was doing some missionary work one summer, and I just had this dream to write a book. And I got home and I was like, this is for me. That was the first draft was just for me. I wrote it as a gift to myself. And I was like, if it helps someone else, great. 7 quick years later, it was published and out into the world. But I'm really proud of the journey I went on and how it ended up.
Well, a couple of important points. First of all, I'm with you. I wrote a book a few years ago, just truly for myself as a healing process. I have not yet published it, so bravo to you. Did you find it healing? Did you find writing the book help move the needle on some of the ideas that you had and pull you forward in a new direction?
Absolutely. It was really hard. It's really hard to sit for, sometimes a week in the worst moments of your life and describe the wallpaper. But over time, absolutely, it helps you find meaning. It helps you frame some trauma that you've been through in a way that nobody else can take that away from you. And absolutely, now I look back at those stories and definitely, definitely have helped.
And 7 years, I mean, a lot of people feel like, "Oh, I wanna get my book done in 7 weeks." But I just wanna congratulate you because I always tell my authors, and we've been so blessed to publish over 700 authors, the longer you take on a book, the better it is. That's what I tell them. Would you agree that it marinated and percolated and germinated into something even better as time went on?
Oh, absolutely. It became a bestseller because I worked so hard to get it right, and it's such a delicate topic. Suicide is hard to talk about. I had a lot of learning and growing myself to do as a writer. I'm so thankful. We had a publisher. One of the first drafts wanted to publish it. Big mess. Eventually, they dropped me, and I'm so thankful they did because that isn't the book that I wanted, and I'm so proud of how it all turned out.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have you speak to my other authors because it's true. Like everything happens for a reason. Everything has a silver lining. Now, again, also difficult subject, but I just applaud you for talking about it. Dive into a little bit about why speaking about suicide, why your mission to end suicide. Can you share a little bit how that started, where that came from, and just give the viewers some context?
Yeah, it wasn't my choice, that's for sure. I don't wake up every morning, I'm like, yes, I get to tell the story of the worst day of my life. I was a public school teacher for 12 years. About halfway through that, 2015, 2016, we had 3 students, a teacher, and a principal who all took their own life in about a year and a half. And I had attempted when I was 23. My life really hit rock bottom. Important relationship had ended. I was in a ton of student loan debt. I was living at home where some really hard things happened in my childhood. And I truly believed I didn't have any other options. Like I just wanted the pain to stop. I got through that. But at that point in my life, no one had ever shared that they had struggled with it. They certainly haven't ever shared that, oh, 5, 10 years later, look what your life can be. And I didn't want to be that person, but I just saw what an important need there was for in the world. And I kept thinking, if these people had an example, if it was talked about more, maybe they would have made a different choice. And so I said, okay, I'll try to find how to talk about this and try to do my own work so that I am healed
Hmm.
enough to be able to talk about it.
Well, congratulations for stepping up to the plate because a lot of people could do the opposite, right? We revert, we go back, we don't want anyone to know, we shy away. That was me when I was in a domestic violence situation. I didn't want anyone to know. But as I started to talk about it, it actually helped me. I felt more connected to people. I found people who were going through similar situations. It allowed me to sort of awaken to my calling. Do you feel the same? Like the more we talk about it, the better it is, the more we share, the better we connect?
Vulnerability is so contagious. And just in my life, when I started sharing my story, I can't tell you the number of it, not a day goes by that someone doesn't tell me that they've experienced it, that they're even in my own family. I found out family members had attempted in their past, but generation ago when it wasn't talked about and they were just shipped away. And so when we find the courage to share, like what you just shared, that little moment can be the light for someone to open up and let out some of that shame that they've been carrying around and just the pain we've been through can be beautiful and it can be used for good. But we have to open up. We have to find a way to share about our pasts.
Yeah, it's true. And thank you for validating me because sometimes it's hard to just tell people those secrets or the things that we're hiding in the closet. And Ignite Moments really for me came from my own journey, like yours, to say, like, we have to talk about this. And when we talk about this, we release ourselves, we free ourselves, and actually we empower ourselves. And today's
Mhm.
theme is really about awaken. So, was there a moment that you awakened to how you could take one of the most painful days of your life and turn it into a mission?
So the day we got the email for the fifth person who had lost their battle, I was just a mess. I was in my classroom just sobbing on the floor for this person I didn't even know super well. But I was just like, gosh, God, we have to do something. I don't know what it is. And so I went home and I researched, and I quickly found that talking about suicide doesn't make it any more likely that someone will attempt, and makes it much more likely they'll seek help. And so I said, okay, I'm just going to start something. I don't know what this means. I put out a blog post on my blog at the time. I was like, I'm a thing. And I wish I could tell you, like, for me, Ignite isn't just a one-time decision either. It's a daily decision to keep committing to that calling. There have been so many times that I've wanted to stop, or, that stigma, the shame. I had a parent call my boss and say, is he mentally stable? Should he be allowed in a classroom? Because I was talking about something that happened to me 8 years ago. I mean, the stigma is real, but you don't build something in one day, right? It's daily decisions that, helping someone else is more important than maybe the pushback that I'm going to get, or a little bit of the shame that I feel around this. And it's a daily decision to get up and say, I'm going to be brave with my life today. I'm going to do something that's going to impact the world. One person choosing to stay changes the direction of the world. It's a family that's not broken. It's a Christmas that's better because everyone's there. And that is what drives me.
Yeah, it's fascinating how there's that one person that complains, but then there's like 100 people that didn't complain and they're so grateful, but they just, they hold it inside, and how thankful they are. They start moving their life in a better direction, but then there's that one person that complains. And I've been through that. I know how that feels. Sometimes people say the same, why don't you stop talking about that? Why do you keep mentioning that? And I feel like we have to talk about it, because people have to know. Maybe somebody heard me say it a year ago, but a brand new person is hearing me say it today, right now. Somebody heard me who thinks, oh, JB's got it all together, but realize, wow, maybe there's something about her that I didn't know. And now that I know that, I feel more connected. I feel more willing to reach out. Do you feel that people reach out to you and use what you've been through as a lifeline to help them?
Well, every single day we get messages on our social media that someone decided to say. Sometimes it's years later. They'll say, we were at your event 3 years ago and my life's totally different. And that's just the greatest feeling in the world. There's no better feeling than knowing that you reached back into your own story, something that was so painful, when you needed someone there to light the path for you, to be that person, to light the path for someone else. That is the most alive you will ever feel. Money, anything else this world tries to tell you is worth it? No, the most alive you will ever feel is getting to help someone and lift them up in their time of greatest need. And I hope everybody watching this can hear that message loud and clear, because our world doesn't say that, right? They say it's money and wealth. That's what's going to make you happy. But truthfully, the most happiness you'll feel is getting to help someone else.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of that, because really Ignite came from that exact experience in me, seeing somebody else's eyes light up, seeing somebody feel like they could do it, noticing someone getting their own confidence and igniting their own life was just euphoric to me and addictive, and just like the best feeling ever. And that's why I do what I do, and obviously why you do what you do. So to just chat a little bit about awaken, is there something that you would like to awaken in people who are listening?
First and foremost, just this idea that it's okay to talk about suicide and it's okay to talk about mental health. For some reason, our world is so behind in mental health, right? If someone's struggling with the flu, we tell them to rest and drink fluids and take care of their body. And if someone is dealing with mental health, we tell them to cheer up, try harder, right?
Get over it.
So just like this general idea, once I accepted that what I was experiencing has a name, it was called depression. It's real. It's a mental illness, that there are ways to get help. There are tools to combat that. I mean, suicide at its most basic level is just when your pain is higher than your ability to cope. 10 years later, I have way more tools at my disposal. I have worked with professionals. I have done a lot of research. And so I have those tools that I can share with others as well. But to anybody listening, talking about suicide is how we start to help. You don't have to start a nonprofit to help, but checking on the people in your life, being open to having some of those vulnerable conversations. Have you ever felt this way? I care about you. Sometimes when people go through a breakup, they have thoughts of not wanting to be here. Have you had those thoughts? And just being that lifeline to someone, and they might say no, right? They might say, no, I've never had that. And that's okay. But now they know in the future that you're an okay person to talk to about that.
I think that's really important because a lot of us aren't good listeners. We just, we kind of go through the motions. We just ask, but we don't really want to know the answer. And I think really what you shared is asking people, your intuition knows when someone's not doing well. We all feel it. We can just tell it. We're human beings that have like the telepathic power to really understand how people are feeling. So you know when someone is not doing well. Is there something that you would suggest, Sam, if you feel or you have the intuition that somebody could really use your help? Are there tools that you can do that are sensitive and more understanding? Because again, I have not been through this or experienced this, so I really need you to educate me.
Same. And I hadn't had that experience. So I've had to learn how to be on the other side of it. Truly, I hear time and time again, the greatest gift you can give to someone who's feeling suicidal is to listen, to give them your full attention, put your phone away. Don't try to fix it. Just listen and acknowledge their pain. That is part of them, is what they need, someone with them in that moment to say, what you're going through is so hard. It's not all in your head. You are valid. You are loved. You are worthy of love. This is a small bump on your road. I'm here for you whenever you need it. That is what most suicidal people will say is the best help. And we are all capable of that, right? Like we all can be that friend, can be that family member. Is it fun? No, it is not always fun to sit and listen to someone's problems for 30 minutes, but it can change the trajectory of their whole day, their whole month, their whole life, truly.
Yeah, I had to share a story. My daughter was working at her job and she works at a fitness center. And a gentleman came in who was brand new to the community. He'd only been here a week. And he ended up staying there and almost talking to her for 3 hours. He didn't even work out. He just was kind of chatting with her. And she came home and she said, Mom, it was really weird. This guy was there and he didn't really want to work out. He just was sharing with me and talking with me and sort of telling me a story and how lonely he was and how he just moved here. And I said, honey, it probably wasn't weird at all. You could have been the one person he needed to talk to that day. And you just honoring him and listening to him and being a friend could actually have saved his life. And I love sharing that story because we sometimes feel like, why did he want to talk for 3 hours? Or why didn't he work out? Or why didn't he do what he was there? And I really wanted her to reframe the idea that, we're all so busy and we go have lunch and we go have coffee and we invite people over and we're in the do. But sometimes people just really need to talk and really need to share. And one of the ways you can ignite humanity, folks, is to listen to people and be there for them.
100%. It's one of the best gifts you can give someone.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've been really quite social and vocal on social media. You've been sharing a lot about this experience. In fact, one of our authors was absolutely taken away and just truly inspired by one of your social media posts. How has it been sharing such a personal experience in such a big arena?
It's been tough. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, every single day we get hate messages, usually from men, usually attacking my masculinity for sharing this. So there have been several times that I've thought about completely walking away. There's been times I've had to take months away just to care for myself. Daily, I get stronger, and daily, I remember why I do what I do, as we were talking about before. I am strong enough now. I was not strong enough when I attempted at age 23. Those comments could have been the tipping point.
Mm.
And so now I see that as a challenge, and I actually start pushing back a little bit. I respond to a lot of those comments in a respectful way. I don't love having the worst day of my life be out in the world. Anyone who meets me, they type into Google and this is what comes up. I don't love that reputation. And also, I know that I'm worthy. Like
Yeah.
I am who I am. And if someone
Yeah.
can't handle that, they might as well know that right off the bat. So the good and the bad, I don't love social media, to be honest. I think it actually contributes a lot to our mental health, is that we sit and scroll other people's lives instead of getting out into the world and living our own lives.
Mhm.
There's a balance, but I also can be a bright light in that space, and I can be that positive voice for people that they need. Just like you check in with people every single day. It's a point for them where they have something bright and positive in their day, and I'm on that same mission too.
Well, I just want to again say bravo to what you're doing and being vulnerable and masculine, those go hand in hand. They're a team. We need more vulnerable men. And being honest and authentic and true, I think, is the most important qualities a man could have. And so I will just share with those people, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So bravo for you for your courage. Well, I want to say, let's lock arms and work together to make a difference. How can people at home be igniting humanity, in your opinion? I know you have this incredible nonprofit that you're doing. You have a big mission. Give us some ideas on what we at home can do to ignite humanity.
I think the first step is to not look away when you encounter uncomfortable things in your day and in your life. If there's one life lesson I learned early, it was stop and be a part of the pain instead of turning away. How many times do we see someone who's experiencing homelessness and we don't even smile, we don't even make eye contact? And the first step to making a difference in the world is seeing the struggle around you. You don't have to fix it, and it's hard because you can't fix it all. But having the courage to look in your life and say, what's going on? What can I be a part of to make this world a little bit better of a place after I'm gone? The other piece is looking back in your story. Often it's our scars that are our superpower. It is that was truly my ignite moment, was when I saw this low moment of my life. Yes, it was awful in the moment, but it can be my greatest point of impact. So for all of us, we've had things in our life. Nobody gets through this life unscathed without experiencing some sort of pain or loss. And if you are brave enough to go and look at that and see how you could use that to help other people, I truly think everybody has a purpose on this planet, and everybody has the power to ignite humanity, to get people going, right? And so I think everybody watching, there's something in you already that's kind of tapping at your heart that you want to help, and start there. It's one small step at a time.
Well, you're really singing my song, because I feel like our stories and our tough moments in our life they actually are, the foundation of a new version of ourselves and a better version of ourselves. And at the time, they feel difficult and hardships. But as we move through them and we can look back on them, I like to call them ignite transformation moments, because they really transform us. And, sometimes I say this, they smack us upside the head, but they make us look in a new direction. And they make us focus on something more that we can achieve. And I definitely want to just say, bravo, your ignite moment is igniting others. And I think that's fantastic. I also want to say to folks, pick your plight. I mean, I am a mom. I used to travel with my kids by myself and have little babies crying on airplanes and strollers and food and runaway. And now when I see women in the airport or just struggling with their kids, I always ask them, can I help you? Can I hold the baby for a moment? Do you need any? Let me watch the little one. There was a mom at the beach and she just could not pack up the kids because the baby was asleep in her arms. And I was like, let me help you. And so if this conversation is not your conversation, I get that. But what I would share, and Sam, you've said eloquently, just be willing to be in people's difficult moments and be willing to help them through it in whatever way that works for you. And I love that, Sam. Thank you. Can you just leave our listeners with that little awaken moment? One of our philosophies in Ignite Humanity is empower yourself so you can empower others so they empower themselves. And I think that they empower themselves is a really key component. Can you just talk about that before we come to a close?
Absolutely. I think one of the most important parts of my journey was learning that your brain can lie to you, and that we don't have to believe everything that we think. That is where my mental health journey lived. And people who are facing suicidal thoughts, their mind is twisted, their brain is sick, and they're not experiencing the world as it really is. They're not seeing the help and the hope. So if it's you're watching this today and you're having some of those thoughts, first and foremost, you just need to know that it's going to be okay. There's so much help and hope in the world. I hope you can find the courage to tell one person in your life, whether that's a professional, a friend, a family member, find that safe person that you can start opening that door up. And fight against those absolutes. Don't say my life will never get better, because that's not true. My story is proof that anybody's life can get better and anyone can get through that. So shut up those voices. focus on yourself and on your healing journey. I promise you're going to get through it, and you're going to make a huge impact with the pain that you've experienced.
Wow. Well said. Well said. Because you're right. Our pain becomes our passion and our mess becomes our mission. And all of us can get through it if we just connect with one another and work towards helping ourselves, which helps others, empowering ourselves. Well, how can people find you? We'll put up your link. recklesslyalive.com is your website. And I know that you're doing some powerful things. Great video on your website, folks. Go watch that. Get Sam's book. And I just want to say thank you because we have a really kindred connection. Sam inspired one of our authors who wrote her book, The Strength to Live. Sam is in her book. She shares some of Sam's story. And Sam was a big inspiration for her. She lost her father through suicide and had her daughter who was also feeling suicidal ideation. And so this is like a family. Sam, part of the family through Cindy, who wrote her book. And it really feels like the work that you both are doing actually is going to make an impact. And why not? If we can fix the climate, and if we can save the animals, and if we can help the environment, we can reach out and touch the lives of our fellow men and women and make suicide a non-issue going forward. Beautiful, beautiful sharing. Thank you so much, and blessings to you.
Blessings. Thank you so much.
What a great guest. And folks, I love what Sam said. If it's an awkward or uncomfortable situation, don't shy away from it. Step into it and see how your knowledge and your experience and your wisdom and uniqueness, which we talked about at the top of the show, how that can help someone else. And you don't have to have all the answers. In fact, searching for the answers, as Sam did, actually has helped him now become such an advocate and impacted other people's lives. We don't have all the answers. We don't know how to fix everything, but our willingness to look towards, search for, and find those answers, bringing people with us, is actually what will make a powerful, powerful difference. Well, we would love to hear your story, no matter what it is. If you've gained lessons and blessings and feel empowered and inspired from some of your darkest moments, the toughest day of your life, if you feel that that has helped move you forward and inspired you to help others in doing things that will ignite humanity, please tell us your story. Go to ignitehumanity.life/share. And I was just thinking, we've got some of the most amazing guests on the planet coming to this show, uplifting people, inspiring them. And we want you to tell your story or someone you know, so that we can tell their story to others and ignite the planet on a global scale. Well, if you want to know what Ignite is up to and all the things we're doing to ignite humanity, go to our website. We've got lots of info there about our book, our movie, our docuseries, and the ways that we are igniting humanity. And if you'd like to watch this episode or any of our episodes at Ignite Humanity Live, just go to ignitehumanity.life/watch, and you can see all of our episodes from the beginning of time and all of them going forward. We don't sell you anything there. We just share lovingly with you so that you can enjoy. Well, again, I will repeat, empower self to empower others, to empower themselves. That truly is going to be what ignites humanity. And we look forward to you doing so and igniting someone else's life. All right, big blessings to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.